You know that feeling when you see something adorable and your first instinct is to reach out and touch it? Well, what I'm about to show you could literally save your life. There are 7 creatures on this planet that look so innocent, so harmless, that people actually seek them out for photos. But each one of these seemingly cute animals has killed more humans than most apex predators. And the scariest part? Most people have no idea they're dangerous until it's way too late. I've spent the last 3 years researching animal attacks, and what I discovered shocked me. The deadliest creatures aren't always the ones with massive teeth or obvious weapons. Sometimes it's the tiny, colorful, seemingly harmless ones that pose the greatest threat. By the end of this video, you'll never look at certain animals the same way again. And more importantly, you'll know exactly what warning signs could save your life. Let's start with number 7, and trust me, you've probably seen this one in person. The slow loris might be the most deceptive killer on our planet. These big-eyed, fluffy primates look like living stuffed animals. They move slowly, they seem gentle, and their faces are so cute that people literally travel across the world just to hold one. But here's what tour guides in Southeast Asia don't tell you. Slow lorises are the only venomous primate on Earth. When threatened, they lick a gland near their armpit that produces a toxin, then bite their attacker. The venom causes excruciating pain, massive swelling, and in severe cases, anaphylactic shock that can kill within hours. What makes this even more terrifying is that their bite looks like nothing more than tiny puncture wounds. Victims often dismiss it until the symptoms start cascading. But here's the really disturbing part. The illegal pet trade has made slow lorises seem like harmless companions. Their teeth are often brutally removed to make them safer pets, which is not only cruel, but gives people a false sense of security about how dangerous these animals actually are. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's terrible, but at least it's obvious that wild animals can be dangerous. Well, number 6 is going to completely change how you think about danger in nature. The blue-ringed octopus is smaller than a golf ball and absolutely beautiful. Its skin shimmers with electric blue rings that pulse like underwater neon lights. People see them in tide pools and think they've discovered some magical sea creature. Divers regularly pose with them for Instagram photos. But this tiny octopus carries enough venom to kill 26 adults in minutes. The scariest thing about blue-ringed octopus venom isn't just its potency, it's how it works. The poison doesn't kill you quickly, instead, it paralyzes every muscle in your body while keeping your brain completely conscious and aware. You can think, you can feel, you can hear everything happening around you, but you can't move, can't speak, can't even blink. Victims describe it as being trapped inside their own body while slowly suffocating. And here's the detail that keeps me up at night. The bite is completely painless. Most people don't even realize they've been bitten until the paralysis begins. There's no antidote. The only treatment is artificial respiration for up to 24 hours, while the venom slowly leaves your system. But wait, because number 5 is something you might encounter in your own backyard, and it's killed more people in the last decade than you'd ever imagine. The duck-billed platypus looks like nature's practical joke. It's got a beaver tail, duck bill, and the general demeanor of a harmless aquatic teddy bear. People think of them as quirky cute, basically the animal kingdom's comic relief. But male platypuses have venomous spurs on their hind legs that can deliver a toxin so painful that morphine can't touch it. We're not talking about a little sting here. Platypus venom causes what doctors call excruciating pain that can last for weeks or even months. The pain is so intense that some victims have begged doctors to amputate the affected limb. And unlike most venoms, platypus toxin actually gets worse over time instead of better. Here's what really shocked me during my research. There are documented cases of people being hospitalized for months because of platypus stings, completely unable to function due to the relentless pain. One victim described it as feeling like molten metal was being continuously poured through his veins. The crazy part is that platypuses seem so harmless that people in Australia regularly try to help them when they're found outside water. That's exactly when most attacks happen. Now, some of you are probably wondering how these animals evolved to be so deceptive. Well, number 4 is going to show you that sometimes evolution creates the perfect trap. The cone snail looks like the kind of beautiful shell you'd pick up on a beach vacation and take home as a souvenir. They're gorgeously patterned, cone-shaped, and seem completely harmless sitting in shallow water. But cone snails are sophisticated hunters with a venom delivery system that's more advanced than most military weapons. When a cone snail detects prey or feels threatened, it shoots out a harpoon-like tooth filled with venom. This isn't a simple bite. It's a ballistic weapon. The tooth can penetrate wetsuits, gloves, even thin shoes. And the venom? It's a cocktail of hundreds of different toxins, each one designed to target specific parts of your nervous system. What makes cone snail venom absolutely terrifying is how precisely it works. It doesn't just cause pain or paralysis. It specifically targets the nerves that control breathing and heart rate. Victims often feel completely normal for the first few minutes. Then suddenly, their cardiovascular system starts shutting down. There's no antidote. There's no treatment. If you get stung by certain species of cone snail, your survival depends entirely on how quickly you can get artificial life support. And here's the detail that haunts me. Many victims are found dead, still holding the beautiful shell they thought was just a harmless souvenir. But here's what's really interesting about our psychology and these dangerous animals. We're naturally drawn to things that look harmless. And number 3 exploits this instinct perfectly. The poison dart frog is everything we associate with cute. Tiny, colorful, and seemingly delicate. They're so small you could fit several in your palm, and their bright colors make them look like living gems. Wildlife photographers spend days trying to get the perfect shot of these little creatures. But those beautiful colors aren't for our enjoyment. They're a warning that we've learned to ignore. A single poison dart frog contains enough batrachotoxin to kill 10 adults. This isn't venom that needs to be injected. Just touching the frog can transfer enough poison through your skin to cause serious neurological damage. The toxin blocks sodium channels in your nerves, causing immediate paralysis and cardiac arrest. Indigenous peoples have used these frogs to poison arrow tips for centuries. But what's really disturbing is how the pet trade has normalized handling them. Many people think that captive-bred dart frogs are safe because they don't produce as much toxin. But that's like saying a small amount of cyanide is harmless. Here's the scary part that most people don't realize. The toxin doesn't just affect you through direct contact. It can contaminate anything the frog touches. There are documented cases of people getting poisoned from handling plants or decorations that had been in contact with dart frogs days earlier. Now you might be thinking that at least these are all exotic animals you'd have to seek out. Well, number 2 is something that millions of people encounter every year without realizing the danger. The elephant looks like the gentle giant of the animal kingdom. They're intelligent, they seem peaceful, and our culture has taught us to see them as wise, harmless creatures. Disney movies, circuses, and zoos have all reinforced this image of elephants as friendly and safe. But elephants kill more people annually than any other large mammal except hippos. Here's what wildlife guides don't tell you. Elephants are incredibly unpredictable. A bull elephant can go from seemingly calm to homicidally aggressive in seconds. When an elephant charges, it's not like in the movies where you have time to run. They can reach speeds of 25 miles per hour and weigh up to 14,000 pounds. Getting hit by a charging elephant is like being struck by a freight train. But what makes elephants truly dangerous isn't their size or speed. It's their intelligence. Elephants remember threats, they hold grudges, and they can plan attacks. There are documented cases of elephants waiting hours for specific humans to return to an area before attacking them. The most terrifying elephant attacks aren't random charges. They're calculated revenge. Elephants have been known to track down and kill people who harmed members of their family years earlier. And when an elephant decides you're a threat, there's almost no escape. But here's what really keeps animal behaviorists awake at night. Elephants are teaching their young to be more aggressive toward humans. In areas where elephants have been traumatized by human activity, entire herds are becoming increasingly hostile, creating generation after generation of elephants that see humans as enemies. And now, for number 1, the most deceptive killer on our list, and it's something that most people consider completely harmless. The domestic cat might seem like a bizarre choice for this list, but hear me out. We live with millions of them, we let them sleep in our beds, and we think of them as harmless pets. But cats are carrying a parasite that's literally changing human behavior and potentially making us more susceptible to mental illness. Toxoplasma gondii infects an estimated 2 billion people worldwide, and cats are the primary source. This isn't just some minor infection. This parasite actually alters brain chemistry. Studies have shown that people infected with Toxoplasma are more likely to engage in risky behavior, more prone to aggression, and significantly more susceptible to developing schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. But here's the really disturbing part. The parasite might be designed to make us love cats more. Some researchers believe that Toxoplasma actually makes infected humans more attracted to cats and more likely to keep them as pets, ensuring the parasite's continued transmission. Pregnant women infected with Toxoplasma can pass the parasite to their unborn children, potentially causing severe brain damage, blindness, or death. Yet millions of pregnant women continue to clean litter boxes and handle cats without understanding the risk. And here's what's really chilling. Some researchers believe that Toxoplasma infection might be linked to major cultural changes in human societies. Areas with higher rates of cat ownership and Toxoplasma infection show different patterns of innovation, risk-taking, and social behavior. Now I know some of you cat owners are probably feeling a little anxious right now, and that's exactly the point. The most dangerous creatures aren't always the ones that look dangerous. They're often the ones we've been conditioned to trust. But here's what I want you to understand. Knowledge is your best defense. Every single one of these creatures gives warning signs before they attack. Slow lorises freeze and raise their arms above their heads. Blue-ringed octopuses flash their warning colors. Cone snails extend their proboscis when they're about to strike. Elephants pin back their ears and trumpet before charging. The problem isn't that these animals are evil or malicious. The problem is that we've been taught to ignore their warning signals because they look so harmless. So here's my challenge for you. The next time you see an animal that seems too cute, too harmless, or too perfect for a photo opportunity, pause for just 5 seconds and ask yourself what you actually know about that creature. Those 5 seconds of hesitation could literally save your life. I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever had a close encounter with any of these animals? Did you realize at the time how dangerous they were? And more importantly, what other seemingly harmless creatures do you think people should be more careful around? If this video changed how you think about animal safety, do me a favor and share it with someone who loves wildlife photography or travel. Knowledge like this spreads best when we look out for each other. And if you want to see more content about the hidden dangers in our natural world, hit that subscribe button because I'm working on a series about deadly plants that look exactly like food. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one.